Y'all come on in. Y'all know it's Friday night and it's time for our Ready to Love relationship recap. We're back in Philly. I am your host, Christal XO. I, of course, am one half of the relationship recap team. My other half is right here, Scorpio Moe, Pajama Moe. I forgot it's Friday. It's Friday night. Pajama Moe.
Happy Friday.
Are you ready?
What
Are you ready to love, Scorpio Moe? Are you ready? Are you ready to love?
I'm ready to make love.
What was your answer? I can't hear you.
I'm ready to make love.
We still don't hear what you said.
I'm ready to make love in my pajamas. What's happening?
That's the real voice right there. Okay, all right. So you're ready to make love. You know what? I'm going to ask that.
That's a joke.
That is the question tonight for everybody that joins. Everybody that is joining the live chat, you guys know we've been waiting for this for a while. You need to tell us, are you ready to love? Are you ready to love?
I hope so, y'all, because I hope everybody got refreshed, reacquainted. Right.
I will say, I'm going to start off by saying this was a great episode. I know all of us were irritated at the fact that Will Packer played in our faces the way he did. But I think I stand by what I said earlier in the season. Philly gives a much more realistic cast. Every season, they do this dumb thing with people sitting down with each other's exes. It didn't quite go the same way in Philly as it has gone in other states. But I do agree with you, Antoinette. It was a stupid decision to delay the show. I do think they lost a lot of momentum.
They did.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna lie, even though I tried to re-watch, I didn't get a chance to rewatch the entire season like I wanted to. And I will admit, once the show started, I was kind of lost because I feel like not only did the season go on hiatus, but it felt like a lot of connections happened that I did not see ever in the making.
Yeah, I forgot some of them apparently because I didn't know, but
yeah,
apparently they were there.
I guess. I mean, I didn't forget any of them, but I did not know that they had connections with the people that we saw. Just before we get started with the show, let's do a rundown of everybody that's here. We know that when the show opened, after leaving for about 4 or 5 months, which was crazy, Eddie and Fritz were both let go. I was shocked. Were you shocked that both of them were let go?
No. Fritz definitely not.
Oh yeah.
Eddie, I thought he would have been a little longer, but I knew he wouldn't stay.
I definitely thought Eddie would have stayed longer. I thought he was I'm so confused. I thought it was crazy letting 2 go at the same time. Yeah, we know Tati and Jack. Girl, we're not gonna talk about those never ever met tonight. We gonna focus on Ready to Love. We don't have much time because we got an hour here. Then we got to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. So let's get right into it. Eddie and Fritz left, And these are the singles that we have left. We have Cisco. We have Rose.
Yep.
We have
Kiara.
yes, this crazy girl. We have Naeem.
Yep.
We have Khalid.
Yep.
We had Chenise.
Yep.
That's still a crazy photo, even all this time later. We have Tay. We have Kiara. We have Deandra.
Yep.
We have Hussein.
Yep.
We have Jay. And we also, I'm missing one of them. I'm missing Cam and the other young lady that is what is her name that had the red dress on? Jesus Christ.
Tay?
No.
Kiara, Deandra, Kiara, I said Kiara twice. Rose, Sierra, Shanice.
Hold on. I'm so sorry, y'all. We just trying to get caught up. We're trying to get caught up. Angela. Oh, Angela. Let me get her picture up here. Angela, and you said Cam. Do I not have Cam? Yeah, I gotta get Cam. Okay. All right. Let's get Cam up here, and then we can get started. Let's start with the beginning, because I feel like this whole idea of bringing your ex to meet the new person, I've always felt like that's been problematic. And the reason it's problematic is because most of the time in past seasons, we've seen exes actually like still be feeling the person, like we saw tonight, which was wild. Let's go ahead and just jump into it with with Jay and Kiara and Jules.
Man, oh man.
I couldn't wait to hear your perspective on Jules. I'm just gonna start by saying I love Jay's approach to it. I love the fact that is to me what a confident man looks like. He was impressed. He was watching. He wasn't being gaslit by the foolish things that were coming out of Jules' mouth. But I'm gonna let you start, because I want to hear a man's perspective on Jules' conversation on Kiara.
As my homegirl says, it was team too much. And he just I think he got up there to show the other dude up. He didn't come there to help her at all.
He did not.
And man, let me be real careful when I say this. I'm not surprised though.
We don't want you to be careful. We want you to go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't want to say, I don't want to put this on every brother in Philadelphia.
What do you mean?
That behavior, like that up there.
What do you mean?
The behavior of, the age behavior, the sitting up there waiting on a 9-year-old.
Yikes.
See why I'm trying to be careful?
Yeah, man. That was wild. That was wild.
No, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
I witnessed it. Who's your mom? What? And I and the little young girls coming from school, like, that's messy, man. And they're pretty, and I'm sure it happens in a lot of places. Not my style, so I'm already like, yo, you's a creep.
Yeah.
And then
because the timeline before we move away from that, the timeline did not make sense. He literally said that when she was 9, she had a crush on him, as most 9-year-olds. Of course, a lot of kids have a crush on their older brothers, friends. But he said he was watching her and waiting until she got to that age. And then there's a question, and I need you in the chat to help me clear it up, because and they had two different stories. To me, she said that they used to talk. They used to mess around and didn't work, and now they're friends. He said she had a crush on me at 9. I waited till she got older, and then I've been looking at wanting my turn. He made it seem like he was still waiting on his turn.
Right.
He never acknowledged that they got together. He made it seem like she's the one that got away, and that was just weird to me.
He insinuated though, because he was like, "Well, I do know about." He said something real slick, as far as like he's explored her before. I did peep that, and maybe he might have messed around and did something they weren't supposed to do, even if it was that. But he's like that guy. That guy will backstab your friend. Like, he is not to be trusted on no type of.
He's not
for women, any type of women. But the brother Jay played it cool. He was reserved. He didn't let that guy get to him. But to sit there and be waiting on a 9-year-old is sick.
But like you said, that does happen. Another thing that pissed the audience off. I was like, the chat is going crazy right now. When he said she was a humble servant. What was that about?
Yeah, he definitely had to define that, and he tried to clean that up.
He made it worse because he was like, he tried to wink at Jay, and Jay wasn't picking it up. I think there's a bigger issue. He said he didn't really like the bougie attitude, and Jay was like, well, it sounds like he don't like the fact that she left him behind and she's on another level. I love that he picked that up immediately. And I agree. Noah said he probably didn't wait until she got of age, because that's another reason why he probably didn't want to acknowledge that they actually did connect. But for him to say that she used to be all humble and a servant, and that she used to be in church all the time, I feel like he wants her to be like that now. He don't like the fact that she's confident and that she's successful. And I think a lot of times men have issues with that. I know that, we don't want to say that men are intimidated, but there are a lot of men that want to take a woman down a peg if she's confident and she's successful.
Well, I think those are two different things. What he's doing and what you're talking about, as far as when men do think like that, it's not what they do. It's their attitude behind it. It's like the guy that gets money and then all of a sudden he's acting cocky. That's what that is. What he's talking about and what I feel about him is something totally different.
So what do you feel where do you feel like that came from with him saying?
I just think he likes, some people are stuck where you used to be and their access to you there.
At 9.
Of 9, 15, 16, whatever it is, your 20s are your 20s, right? Or under, or under 21. But some people, that's what they know of you. And that's all they think that you can never be. And when you get past that, they like the other person, because maybe you guys get together, break up, all come back to him. But when a person shows growth and don't look back, you're so confident in yourself and not look back at me that you're willing to introduce me to someone you like. That's a lot.
So this is Kiara that we're talking about right now, and this was her date with not Naeem. Where is Jay? Yeah, my bad. Here he is. This is Jay. And he actually, I think, shined really well on that date, because he did not even allow this dude. He was creepy. The guy was creepy.
He was.
He was very creepy. Even for him to be like, I got to tell you, it's a dagger. It's a real, like, he was trying to scare the dude off. I don't know if he wanted to be on TV, but he was extremely creepy.
Even the smile, look on his face, glare in his eye was up.
And Hey You There is right. She is the one whose baby daddy is in jail. Well, she's one of the ones. There were a few on the show this season. But I thought that she is, I'm surprised why she brought him. She probably didn't know that he was going to do that. But something tells me that he's always had, he's a creepy, period. He did tell Jay that he would be willing to wait. So I feel like he was just trying to kind of mess her up, saying he was willing to wait till she was 80. Then Jay was like, so you ain't got nothing else in your phone? Like, you're just sitting around waiting for her? Wait, you could have more than one crush. First of all, when did dudes start saying that they had a crush?
Behind y'all back.
Oh, you have, who is your, well, never mind.
We're not gonna do that.
Never mind.
Just do your show.
Do you have crushes?
I definitely did. Yeah.
Okay. As a man?
Huh?
Now?
Not now, but you might meet someone. Like when I was on Facebook, but people see you on social media, see someone, and you be like, no, and they'll say, I like you. Or I've said to someone, I used to have a crush on you. I used to walk over such just to get a glance of,
Okay.
I like them older. They was like 2 years older.
Okay, but I just felt like it was weird for him to say that he has lots of crushes. He was just weird. That was a song, Crush on You by the Jets. How do you know about that, Hey You There? You weren't even supposed to know that. That
was a song like that by Junior Mafia.
Oh, that was probably what she was talking about. She probably wasn't talking about the Jets. Ignore that. Hey You There, ignore it. Ignore it. Yeah. No, she said Crush by David Archuleta from American Idol. We don't know that one.
You know where you at?
David Archuleta from American Idol? Do you watch
no.
it? Anyway, okay, let's stick to let's we got a lot to talk about. Hold on. All right, so let's move through the dates. So we had Kiara and Jay. One thing about Kiara, she gonna have them girls, they're gonna be spilling out every time.
A little too much. It was a few people spilling out a few places.
Yeah, it was, and I know exactly what you're talking about. We're gonna get to that later on. Because there's some trouble. There's some trouble. That this entire episode was really good because it just showed me more and more things that were problematic when it came to dating. Now, the next date that we saw was Angie, who is right here. And I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised because of how she looks and she stayed around this long. But I was worried about her initially. Angie and Hussein. And she had her son's father come to the date. I liked her son's father. I thought he was a solid dude. I think that a lot of the guys, and I love the fact that the Philly guys were honest. I think they were looking to see what is the guy going to look like that she used to mess with so I can know what type of dude she deals with, which is going to tell me more about her. And you saw they kept saying, I'm trying to see what kind of dude she deal with. I appreciate. See, a lot of the guys don't say what it really is, and I've been around you, and I've heard you want to. I know that guys kind of judge women based on the guys that you've been dealing with. So I love hearing them say that. But I thought he was a solid guy. What she said was very alarming, and kind of goes back to, my whole alpha female. And I don't think she's an alpha female. I think she's just a woman that has grown up with a lot of toxicity around her and is attracted to men, but does not know how to be with a man. She is attracted to them. She is open with her sexuality, but for you not to allow your child's father, when you're in labor, to drive you to the hospital, that is deep.
We're talking about Philly now.
That's crazy. Thank you, Karen, for that super sticker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen.
That is crazy.
I'm not surprised.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Nah, it's that, the women are very more advanced than the men. They're going to move faster. They're going to get quicker. They're not going to wait for you. Either go, some people have this, they're not slow, but they're slow to react. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Hold on. She said, yes, Karen, I agree, and I love that. August, she said, "Happy August. This is the month of abundance." I received that. I share that back. We gonna believe that for everybody watching this broadcast. I don't know. I mean, I will say that a lot of times women have never been able to feel safe. They have never been able to trust a man. So for her to be like, I'm gonna drive myself, and you're in the passenger seat. Why would you have a baby with a man that you would not let you drive you to the hospital?
She would. Well, that just lets me know that's her car. This is what I'm saying. She's more. It's a lot of that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I'm not letting you drive my car. Where you go? She's going to move faster than he is, and she's the one pregnant. Because if it was his car, I don't care whose car it is. If I see a woman doing that, I'm snatching the keys from you. You're not driving. Period.
That's crap. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for you. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people that have had to drive themselves to the hospital while they're in labor, but that's really not safe. Contractions and driving in Philly don't go together.
Not no narrow streets.
No, it doesn't. Like, that's crazy. Days of Danny said maybe he didn't have a license or something was up. I hope so, but I don't feel like that because he said it. And if he didn't have a license, I feel like she would have said that.
It was her car.
It was her car.
And that's it. That's what I take from it. He don't got no car.
Yeah, I think that, but that wasn't the only situation. That was an example that he used. Right. But he also made it clear that that's how she was all the time.
Right.
I do kind of feel like she is full of it because she doesn't really seem to have a lot of depth to me. Like, there's not a lot of depth. She was talking to Hussein. I know she appreciates Hussein because he has shared some, deep stuff with her, and he has a child. But even the way she was handling the situation with Cameron, those of you that watch know that Cameron was another one of her connections. She did not want him to meet her child's father. To me, she was treating him like a jump off because she's super attracted to him. She was talking about sex, but she didn't really take him seriously. Now she apologized because she knows how to, to lean in because everybody wants to stay on the show. But I feel like she was like, I don't know, something about him. It's just his physique or the way, I think she was treating Cam like a jump off.
I do think that, and I think that she would go to the guy that she would have less, like the other guy would adore her and she wouldn't have to worry about him cheating as much. With Cam, he looks, his smile, his physique, his job position, I think she might have to share with other women, so she's picking less of a threat. That's what
I can see her doing that because I think she's, like I said, I don't get a lot of depth from her.
Right.
She seems, because that's the one that was like a bartender. She seems to be, she's in her early 40s, but her mentality doesn't seem that age to me.
Right.
And I thought but I thought her child's father seemed a lot more mature than she did.
And that could have been the issue of why they.
Well, I think that
they even broke
she don't respect him. Now, I do want to say this. To your point, Mo, if people, a lot of those women, at least from what we've heard, a lot of them, there's been more than one say that they had an ex in jail. That there's a lot of reasons why women don't necessarily trust men's leadership, because they may not have seen a man able to actually lead. They may not have experienced that. They may not have seen it in their house or even seen it outside. And then the men that they're with may be showing up as grown boys, going to jail, doing stuff that's not cool. And if a woman got her stuff together, I can understand her being like, no, because but women have to understand, if you choose to lay down and create children with a man that you don't respect, then that's not his fault.
I think a lot of that happens though, and I think that's where a lot of trouble comes from.
I know it does. I know it does. It does, because a lot of times you're attracted to somebody, but you don't respect them, and you got to. That is the most important thing. You got to be with a man that you respect. If you don't respect him, you're not gonna, there's no way for it to work, which is also another situation coming up that we're gonna talk about in just a minute. I'm gonna pivot really quickly to Sahara and Cameron. Now, Sahara has been a problem child, from the beginning of the season until now, and she went out with Cameron. Cameron had quite a few connections, which was interesting. We did see him in Sahara. I did not see him and Angie. I also did not see him. And I was just like, where is Cameron getting all these connections from? Where did this happen? But let's talk about his date with Sahara. First of all, I was not surprised that nobody showed up.
Thank you. Thank you.
No exes were available for Sahara.
Did nobody come to see that lady?
No. But when she said that the last one died, she said that the last and God rest the dead. But I'm sure there's been more than one. And I was not surprised that she did not have a guy. Now, what did you think of her conversation with Cameron?
She's being herself. I'm not surprised at anything that she says, even when she gets deep. My issue with their connection is him. I don't believe him. I believe that he thinks she's an easy score, and on his poll, she will be the last one. Like, he can hit it that night, and I think he knows that.
You think that?
Yup, I do.
I think if that's the case, he could definitely hit Angie that night too.
No, but what I'm saying is she just gives that energy, and she wears it to me as a man.
Are you saying that she's crazy in the head and will be crazy in the bed?
Where'd you get that phrase from?
You. I learned it from watching you.
Bingo! And that's what the energy she, some couple shots of dark liquor or, whatever. Anyway, and I think he knows that, and he talks to her. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe him and her at all. More on his part, not her.
I don't agree. I don't agree. But Where's the Juice said you're right. But let me ask you guys this. Where's the Juice and Mo? Are you guys not thinking that it could be like her attitude? Because she has such you don't think her attitude could make him kind of attracted to her? Because maybe he wants to save him.
I mean, he might know that she'll look up to him and follow his lead type thing, but I just think that he's how do y'all say, the low-hanging fruit to her?
She's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I think he knows that he would use that to his advantage. I think he kind of likes that from her, but he's way up. Nah, man, it's not. I don't see it. I think it's an easy win, and he likes it. He knows that she's going to look up for him, look to him for guidance, and try to even correct. But she is who she is. There's nothing wrong with that.
Linda said he had a talk with Kojo. She said after watching his talk with Kojo, I think he really likes her. I think he does too, just because why would he connect with her in the beginning? Nobody else connected with her. Nobody. And he has a lot of other connections. But I feel like when I see the two of them talking, I do feel like he really is connected. I feel like you are saying that because you wouldn't be attracted to her. But no. First of all, and let me add another thing in here that could actually be a part of this that you would not consider, but the ladies will know what I'm talking about. He is a shorter king.
Okay.
He's a shorter king, and sometimes short kings pick the woman that they feel like would really like them, because a lot of times other women are not really into short kings. I think him being short, I hate to say that. But I feel like he may have some insecurity that we don't see. You see the way Deandra dismissed him? Do you remember that? It was a long time ago. It was half a year ago. The short king is Cameron. Hold on, let's pull him up here.
Here's the thing.
This is and I'm sorry, I don't mean to call him a short king, but Deandra said he was short, and I was like, so he may be.
Even look at her steak pose that you put up there. Listen,
but I'm saying maybe he likes that. Maybe he wants to save her.
She is for the night. That night. Matter of fact, if she didn't do anything that night, I'd be like, don't ever call her. I wouldn't call her again.
But you're talking about you, not him.
That's what most men say. I'm telling you.
You could be, I'm just saying, I don't know.
She is Sexy Red, Cardi B. She's all them. You ain't courting those ladies.
But why, when he has several other connections, why is he still dealing with her? And why does his connection with her seem the most genuine?
He just tapped into something. He can relate to her, and maybe he understands her. But for real, serious, a firefighter and her, I don't think.
That's what he said he's 5'9" on a good day. Well, what that tells me is that there are not very many good days, because men always give you the height they are on their tippy toes when the sun is shining and they got on a Nike with a little bit of a sole. They never give you the real flat-footed height. They don't. Speaking from someone who never wanted to date someone that was not at least 6 foot, trust me, I have called dudes out on dating apps for giving me the wrong measurements. Then I learned to stop doing that. But I'm just saying, if he tells you 5'9" on a good day, trust and believe that day don't happen often.
Yeah,
he probably closer to 5'7", 5'8". On a good day,
he might surprise me. He might like that. That might be his style. But the fact that you like her and then you feel the way you felt about Rose, and then it just don't add up.
But I agree with Marriott. Peaceful men often like a firecracker. And there are often couples like that. Crazy woman with a bunch of issues and a man that's just soft-spoken and walking behind her.
And let me be clear, I'm not basing it on that. I'm basing it off the other women he likes. Like when I see a woman that I'll be like, you can't like me and like him. Ain't no way.
Yeah, but men, see, I think that I really do think that often people, they are attracted to something that's different because they will feel needed and they will feel like they will be appreciated.
So what was his attraction to the other women then?
Well, maybe he's just physically attracted to them.
I think it's the other way around.
So you think he's physically attracted to her?
Yes.
Or do you think her and Angie have nothing in common.
That's my point.
But I'm saying, like, why keep her around if that's the only reason? I don't get it. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think he really likes her. I think he feels like he understands her. I think he feels like there's no in
the game, he's pulling the wolves or over our eyes of who he really is, and who he really is. Then what he's showing us is an act. Either or.
We'll see. All right, let's move on. To our next. Let's move on to Cisco and Chenise, because I have some information to share with the ladies based on this coupling. Now, Cisco goes on a date with Chenise and her ex. First of all, I don't necessarily. That was weird. Her and her ex. I don't necessarily know that was an ex for real. I don't know. It just felt like. I don't know. It just felt like I felt like she wanted somebody to come on the show with her, which I think most people would do. somebody that you were cool with, but it didn't feel like they really were like in a serious relationship. But that's not the point.
Okay.
The point is, even on his date with Chenise and her ex, Cisco was thinking about Tay.
Man, that was a little foul, man. He didn't have to do that.
So for those of you that didn't see it or didn't catch it, so they were talking about the fact they were on the show. So Chenise says, well, he has some other connections. And then her ex says, well, who are these connections? And he said Tay was his other connection. And then the ex says, what does she look like? And Chenise says, she's cute. And he's like, nah, she's not cute. She's beautiful.
Woo! First of all, she should have never even mentioned the other connections.
She should not have.
And then second, he should have just left it alone, Cisco. You defending some woman there. She didn't disrespect her.
But you know what? I think that was a knee-jerk reaction because he just is so into Tay. He really didn't want to be there with Chenise.
Yeah.
And my thing is this to the women. It's so crazy because he sat there and explained why she was special. He said even up to the very end, he said she had a spiritual side that helped him see that he needed to get back in touch with God. He felt like she cared about him. She would come over to him and could tell that he was having a bad day and would pray for him. So first of all, a lot of women do that stuff trying to be slick and trying to make a man, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can do all the praying and the cooking and the sexing. If he don't see you like that, he's not going to. And she did all that touching and rubbing and telling him it's going to be okay. You can fix the relationship with your mom. Probably told him he could find a place to live. And this Negro says, I appreciate all that about you. And I need that in my life. But this girl is beautiful.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
It's not the heart that's wanting it. It's some other place geographically lower than the heart.
Nah.
That's not his heart.
He really liked that other lady.
He likes her because of how she looks.
He likes Tato.
Because of how she looks.
You don't think it's a little bit more than that?
I think that is the bulk of it is when we see someone that looks the way we want them to look, especially when we're someone, I feel like a lot of times Cisco is obviously a very attractive man as far as like standards of attractiveness, right? He's tall, broad shoulders, muscle. He's an attractive man. I think he wants an attractive woman. For those of you that are watching King's Court with me, Tyson Beckford, y'all done tried to say Tyson wasn't fine. That's not true. But he has a horrible attitude. But Tyson is so focused on looks, he wants someone else that he thinks is good looking. I think that people that are very, very vain, they value vanity. And I feel like Cisco, the fact that Tay says she don't like a man that snores. He literally said, well, I snore. And she was like, well, then we don't have problems. That's just a tip of the iceberg. She's not going to have the same type of concern for him because she doesn't that Chenise would have. But he doesn't care.
We already know her big hang up with him anyway.
He already knows what?
We already know Tay's biggest hang up with Cisco anyway.
Well, that's most women's biggest hang up with Cisco. Come on. Ain't nobody housing no bear.
But she expressed it, and she's had concerns. She vocalized it.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about that. He got one woman. Now, I will say that Chenise did come off a bit thirsty, right? And I'm talking about the nude body painting and saying she likes to be nude, having him and letting him write his name on her breast. That was wild. That was she definitely did. Yeah, she did. That was the first date. It was a little thirsty. A little thirsty. You don't think it was thirsty?
Yeah,
It was thirsty.
It was on that line.
But I feel, but the fact that he saw all these other good qualities in her, but they didn't matter. I just want that to be a lesson to my sisters. Don't be doing this stuff thinking that it's going to show a man your worth. He has to see it. If he don't see it, keep it moving. Keep it moving, because that poor girl, he did all that and then sent her home.
Hey, that man shed the tears for that lady.
He did, but then he turned around and said, this was the diabolical part of that scene. He shed a tear because he's non-confrontational. He said, but and I didn't want to hurt her, but if this was the day that I had to make my decision between Chenise and Tay, I'm definitely choosing Tay. End of the scene. That was what he said in his confessional.
I mean,
he didn't want to have to do it, but he said on the date with Chenise that Tay was beautiful. He left and was talking about Tay. Tay invited him and a whole nother dude and showed all her energy, put all her energy on the other guy, and he still was locked in on Tay. Ladies, take a note.
Fellas, take a note.
What is the note? What is the note to the fellas?
Don't be a goofy like Goofy. Have some self-respect and some self-pride, brother. Even if you feel that way, don't show her, suck it up. You'll be all right, man, but don't do that. Man.
Well, I mean, so do you think that he should have gave Chenise a chance, or do you think that because he really was I screaming?
A little bit.
Sorry. I was passionate about it, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me pull myself back. But do you think that he should have gave Chenise a chance, or do you think he should just hold out for somebody that looks like Tay?
Not even look, but you want that feel, man. Don't shortchange her either. If you don't feel that way about her, and you can give her a close to that energy, don't shortchange her, because there's someone that's going to feel that way about her.
That's very true. But can I give him a suggestion, a tip?
Yes.
If you want a woman that looks like Tay that can make you feel butterflies, you're going to have to get a job. You're going to have to save some money. You're going to have to get a home. You're going to have to get a car. You're going to have some money in the bank. You're going to have some stability. You're going to have some consistency. You're not going to be able to do it this way. The muscles are not going to do it. There's a video out on social media that I don't believe, but it's this guy trying to figure out if his girlfriend's going to cheat. He sends up a muscle-bound guy. And the girl is like, no, I got a man. I got a man.
Oh, yeah.
And then the dude, the same muscle-bound man that she turned down, pulls up she sees his car, and she's like, oh, this is nice. And he said, if not for the muscles, they can turn down the muscles, but they can't turn down the money. And that is never a truer statement. He is not going to be able to get the woman he wants by staying in the gym. And I know, again, I appreciate when men take their physicality seriously. However, my sisters and I are not housing muscle bears. That's not what people are doing. So after a certain age, you have to make sure that you have the ability, you have the things needed for a beautiful woman. If you don't, it's going to be a rough road. So I would suggest spending less time in the gym and more time focused on your FICO score. I'm just saying. I told y'all I dated this guy that was all buffed out, and he was working 4 hours a day. And I went to his, I was like, now I just got mad. I was like, you work 4 hours, you work part-time and spend 4 hours in the day, the 4 hours a day in the gym. What do you do? Why would you be in the gym 4 hours with no money? Get your ass out of the gym.
Damn.
Get your ass out of that gym.
Get together, brothers.
So anyway, we're gonna see Cisco get his heart broken.
Yeah, he gonna lose. He lost. Yeah. it's no way that that's gonna end good. No
And I
way.
feel like we need to encourage. Well, I think men do know that, but there's just some of them, especially ones that look like Cisco, that have been told that they don't have to do it. But sir, even you too need a 401k plan. You too, sir. Now I know there's rumors that he connected with someone else because after that didn't work, but we're not talking about that right now. We focus on this. Let's get back to Hussein and Cameron on the date with Rose, because I feel like wasn't Rose one of your top? Did you like Rose, Mo?
And the first episode or second episode, one of the two. No, I didn't like.
I thought you did.
No, it was no. I like Rose for him.
Okay, so which him? Because Hussein,
Rose for Cam.
and Cam, okay, no.
Well, that first date, I'm saying the first date that they had, that's locked in.
I liked Rose, but I am going to give Cam and Hussein credit for calling BS.
What do you mean?
They both said that her and her ex presented a story that just didn't make any sense. And I think this is a red flag for anyone. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If you're dating someone or you meet someone and you ask them their flaws and they say something like, I was just too nice. I'm just too loving. I'm just too accommodating. Please know that you're being scammed.
It's something else. Of course it is. Maybe
it's many other things, not one. It's many other things. None of us are perfect. But the biggest problem are those of us who can't see our own faults. And I always said, when I was dating, I was like, if I talk to a guy and he tells me that all his exes were crazy, he's the one. You are the common denominator, sir, or ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sir. It can't. You cannot have Mo. Do you know what you did wrong in past relationships?
Hell yeah.
Would you ever suggest to a woman that you were only too giving?
Well, most time I ain't had nothing to give, so let's start.
But I'm saying, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you talk to a person, that's always gonna come up.
Well, that's why I always ask, one of the last relationship, and then I always ask what happened. I do. Some people say you should, but I always ask. I want to know.
I ask what happened as well. And whenever there's pushback, I know the problem is sitting in front of me.
I like that.
It's true. Whenever there's pushback, Nick, it's you. It's you, sir. Because if you are mature, then you know what you do wrong.
Right.
And if you're immature, then you don't know. And a lot of people was like, well, he was crazy and he did this and he did. Okay. What did you do? Those of us that were raised by real parents, if something happened in the house, my mom would be like, what happened? And I'd point, my brother did, well, what did you do? What did you do? What did Christal do? And then, because usually if there was some type of problem, yes, he probably did it, but I might have had something to do with it. So I just learned you cannot point the finger. You got to take accountability. I'm not saying that it's all one person's fault, but it takes two to tango. And you can be for damn sure people in their late 30s and 40s, you have done something wrong in a relationship.
Oh,
it's no such thing as she's just too giving. Not gonna do it. So I love the fact that they picked up on that, and see those of you that are saying that y'all don't have no problem. It's y'all.
Yeah. I mean, we grow as people.
We do, and that's what you could say, because like I know what I've done in past relationships. I try not to do that now. I'm not perfect, but I can I can identify and share as an adult, as a mature adult, what I did that caused there to be friction in my relationship. If you are talking to someone who cannot take any accountability, I guarantee you the blame rests in their lap. I think Rose is playing games because I feel like she has a different side to her and she's just keeping it at bay. And I think she did, her and her ex definitely rehearsed everything.
Yeah, when the brother said that, I was like, yeah, he might be on to something. I think you shouldn't. That's tough. I think you should list a bunch of people and let the show pick, not the woman pick.
Well, hey, this is a job interview question. I don't think it's a job interview question. I think that's just a real life question. Before you get into a relationship, you want to know who you're talking to, and I want to know, what did you learn? What did you learn, dude?
It's really about.
Yeah, I'm not trying to point fingers, but if you can't tell me what you learned, then you're gonna repeat it, because whatever we don't learn from, we're doomed to repeat.
That's what it's really about. I think we shouldn't look so much at we're thinking that's who you are now. We're just trying to see where you came from and who you evolved to.
That part. All right, speaking of evolved, let's get to Deanna and Naeem and Cameron. Not Cameron, Khalil.
I don't like.
You don't like what?
Deandra, I don't. The first of all, you can't get nobody to show up. I call flag on the play. BS.
I call flag as well. But can I tell you something? I was not surprised that Deanna didn't have nobody to come. She's combative.
Yeah, she seems like she's not really can be friends with anyone after a relationship.
Yeah, because she doesn't think she's wrong. She thinks she's perfect. And that came out right then, because she was like, no, it's toxic. We can't talk. It's something ain't wrong. You got to, not she had on the Prince pants. And I'm like,
I was like, am I seeing what I see?
Oh, you saw.
Because the skin tone wasn't matching. That's why I was really.
But I was just like, girl, you're behind. You don't need that. If she didn't have the cutouts.
She too big for that.
Well, damn. Okay. I was trying to say that, she's very voluptuous, and you didn't need to have the cutout to show the voluptuousness. It's there. We see it. It's in her. They coming at you. They humming coming at you. You don't need to do that.
My ladies from Philly, y'all used to be able to dress back in the day. What is going on?
I don't know. She is 0 for 0. It started with this horrible. What is that? It is like, you know what? Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. That looks like the Gordon Gartrell shirt in beige. That is the Gordon Gartrell shirt in beige in a dress form.
Let me tell you something. She got too much shoulder to be off the shoulder.
Too much shoulder to be off the shoulder.
Yeah, so much.
What did you think of her saying that? Well, there was no guy that showed up, but then she said, for those of you that didn't see it, she said that her flaw was she will get mad at something and not tell the person and let them do it 1, 2, 3 times, and then she'll just break up with them. What?
I've been guilty of that too. I have. I ain't gonna. I understood that. I'm not saying it's right, but I
give us an example of something that somebody did 3 times.
Got on my nerves 3 times. Let me stop. No, but whatever it is, because especially in the beginning, because I say I'm not asking or bringing anything to anyone's attention. I'm letting you be you.
But that's not mature because you're not. If the person knew that it was bothering you, they may fix that. That's just not how. That means you're not ready to love.
No, what? Maybe not. But I'm just saying. I just try to be like, because I don't want to change you. I want to accept you as you are, flaws and all. And if it's a flaw I deal with, no problem. But that might be your character. And I'm not, especially at this age, you're going to be who you are. I'm going to be who I am. We can make adjustments on like stop smoking or stop drinking, but character
is key. I agree with Marriott. I've definitely done that on dates. I've told you I would ghost people in a second, but you can't ghost somebody in a relationship. And if you're going to get in a relationship with somebody, you should care enough to figure it out. But if you then you shouldn't be in a relationship. That's a person that's not ready to love.
But I'm not. You don't know them. I'm not.
Why are you getting in a relationship before you've done some testing?
But what I'm saying is, we're just getting to know each other. If that's you, I'm not going. And then you change, and then I decided, nah, that's not for me.
That's not. Then you're not ready to be in a relationship because that's not how relationships go.
They're not supposed. They're supposed to. They're feeling each other out.
That's dating.
A relationship.
That's dating, though. Dating, you're feeling it out. Once you decide I'm going to be in a committed relationship, that says that there's enough about this person that I'm putting, stock into, and I'm going to try to be honest with them and ask them to be honest with me. Like you're saying, I commit to a process. So if you're just dating, that's different.
If I go out with somebody 3 times, I'm committed.
No, that's just dating. You're not in a relationship.
That's my point. If I see something that each time they did the same thing, we 3 times or 3 strikes, and then
she said in a relationship, Mo. That's the difference.
I thought okay.
She said in a relationship she does it. We're not talking about dating. In dating, I don't think you owe anybody anything. In dating, I may not call you back ever. So what? I don't owe you anything. But if we're in a relationship, that's different.
Okay, my bad. I misunderstood. My bad.
Yeah, that's a different. Like, why not just keep it in a dating? You don't have to be exclusive off the bat. Just date.
See, I never did that in a relationship. I did that in the process we talked about.
Yeah, that's different. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the problem is in a relationship, you have to effectively communicate, or you are wasting people's time and your time.
My bad, 1,000%. You're right.
And so what she said didn't make sense. And that's why things probably go toxic, because somebody feels like you wasted their time.
That's true.
I know I felt like that before.
So what can somebody tell them? And I'm not going to say nothing, but they did it 3 times, a 3rd time. So if they lie, you're not going to check them on the lie. Like, what could a person do? I don't know.
Well, Naeem said she's actually keeping score. Like, that's a petty person.
Oh, when somebody asked on here, Mo, what is something I keep score?
He's petty.
I keep score on stuff.
He's petty.
But it's easy to keep score when it's 0 to nothing. I mean, 1 to 20 to 0. But I do keep score though, and that's a bad thing. I'm working on it. Damn it.
You working on yourself. No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, nobody's perfect. I know my issues. It's hard for me to trust somebody. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to let go and really, really, really just, let 100%. It's hard because people just be doing stuff that don't feel trustworthy.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is it wrong? Let's say you leave a bag at a man's house.
Yes.
And you don't call that man. He calls you, you don't pick up the phone. And then maybe a month goes by and he tries to reach out again. Then he reaches out somebody close to you and be like, hey, like, I got this bag. What you need to do? Nobody replies.
Okay.
Then you throw the bag away.
Yeah.
And then a month after that, the person was like, where's my bag?
No, you're not wrong. Thank you. First of all, why'd you leave it here? Second of all, I don't have rental space.
But I said I throw away anything that does not serve.
This house is not for other people to just let their things stay. And if I reached out and I made an attempt, I would log it. Try it once, try it twice. That must mean you don't need it.
Picture of the bag. I did everything. Y'all could I get it? Can you meet me?
That's a good question. T, who said what kind of bag?
It was a luxury tote bag.
Well, then that means she didn't need it.
That's what I said. And they just like, I can't believe you just threw away my. Hey, y'all didn't respond.
Did they say why they didn't come get their bag?
They wasn't rocking with it. And then all of a sudden.
Okay, well, if you weren't rocking with me, then come get your stuff.
This is what I said. And I was like, I gave you fair. I took a picture of it. And like, what do y'all want to do?
She tried. No, that you did the right thing. If you cared about your designer bag, ma'am, then you would not have left it. And if you did leave it, you would have came and got it, or you would have sent a friend to get it. So if you left it there. As long as you didn't give it to another girl.
No, I didn't do that. They thought, and they thought I was being petty. Why would you do? That was petty. I was like, no, petty would have been showing a video of me throwing the bag away. I didn't do that.
Well, that would have been stupid. But what was petty is you leaving a designer bag at my house and expecting me just to let it sit there until you decide that you want to come back months later. Like, no. And because what if I'm dating someone else? I don't want to have to answer where this bag is. Because I've been dating it.
I thought about that too. It was in my closet walking in. I kept tripping over the bag. And I'm like, what? And they had something else. They was like, well, how come you didn't throw it? I was like, because this was a gift. Your bag wasn't a gift to me.
No, it wasn't yours. It was hers. But it wasn't that she forgot because he tried to call her to come get it. She didn't want to talk. So since you don't want to talk, you don't want your bag. Overall, let's rate tonight's episode and then let's go to, you guys stay right there because we're coming right back with Love and Marriage Huntsville. What are we giving tonight's episode of Ready to Love?
I give Ready to Love tonight a 7.
I'm going to give Ready to Love tonight a 7.5. I will say I appreciate the fact that we got a chance to see that women be thinking that they're running game on men, and men really don't be falling for it. They just let us think they are. And I think that's what we saw tonight. The men know it's out of 1 to 10. Out of 1 to 10, we're giving it a 7 or 7.5.
Yeah.
But I think I like the fact that even with Cam, when he was like, I'm trying to do differently. I've always led with the physical. I'm trying to do something different. I appreciated the fact that we saw men actually seriously thinking about what they wanted. And I think a lot of times we as women, we shortchange men on the way they think. So we appreciate y'all hanging out. Stay right there. Get you something to drink. Get you something to eat. Go to the bathroom. We're getting ready to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Ooh, y'all are giving the ratings low. If you're watching the replay, make sure that you rate tonight's episode of Ready to Love and make sure you're right back here next week at 10 o'clock. All right?
There it is.
Y'all stay right there. We're coming right back.
All right, so.